My name is Dominic. I'm the Volunteer Engagement Director here at Goochland Cares and have been here about a year. Well, I work with wonderful people from the community. We have about 800 volunteers that volunteer here, including our episodic volunteers, but about a quarter of those folks are people who volunteer regularly, weekly, sometimes monthly. So most of our volunteers are engaged in the food pantry and the clothes closet, but we also have skills-based volunteers that can help with things like critical home repair, income tax preparation, and so just working with people in the community, some of whom are completing community service, some of whom are retired, some of whom are students, getting hours for National Honor Society, things like that. So we have a range of volunteers, all ages, that just want to be involved and support our clients and patients. So my role is to work with those volunteers, get them plugged in, and make sure that we have projects here that they feel get them engaged, but they're also productive and are meaningful for them as they come here. We're wide open. We don't place people in volunteer positions, they self-select. And so if somebody can come 1 hour a week, 1 hour a month, 1 hour a year, we're able to get them plugged in. So most of our regular volunteers, I would say, volunteer maybe a couple times a week, each time probably for about a couple hours. So the time commitment really varies, but we're wide open. Well, I think first and foremost, it's an opportunity to give back to the community. And I think there is a sense of reward that comes with helping others. And that might not be what people are seeking. They want to help others, but I think in return what they're getting is almost like a reciprocal sort of sense of, that reward and that feeling that comes with helping others. So, and there is a need. I think if you look at the demographics and the way that the county is it's almost like two different counties within one, and there's quite a disparity. And so I think when you look at some of the folks and how their circumstances and their living situation is, I think it's an opportunity for others to realize that right here within this, one small county in central Virginia, there is a great need. And there are people that need food, there are people that need clothing, toys for their children. Some people are living in unsafe situations in their homes that need critical home repair. There are people that are survivors and victims of sexual and domestic violence, so our SDV unit here supports those folks. We have an emergency shelter when people's homes are being fixed or if they're trying to get out of an unsafe situation. We're trying to put together a safety plan. So I think sometimes it's easy to forget that there is a need in this county when you look at maybe the eastern end of the county, but there's definitely a need, and I think people that are looking for ways to get plugged in, this is a great place to do it. Something that stands out, maybe not necessarily a volunteer, but I was with some volunteers and Doug, our food pantry manager, and we were in the back stock room, and there was a gentleman who came in, and this was at a time when eggs were, at an all-time high. But this gentleman came in and he donated, it must have been 20 to 30 dozen eggs, because he has about 40 chickens or so. And so that was really helpful for the food pantry, knowing that our clients need eggs, need produce, need dairy, all kinds of things. But what was interesting was that after he donated these 20 or 30 dozen eggs, he came around the front to shop in the food pantry because he's one of our clients. It goes to show that people want to give back, and even if there are folks that are receiving services from Goochland Cares, there are people here that are receiving services that still want to give back to us. And not that we expect anything in return, but that I've heard that multiple times from clients who said, Goochland Cares has done so much for me, I just want to do something in return. And his way of doing that was providing eggs for our clients as well. So clients helping clients as well. Goochland Cares is an amazing organization. I think it's a really tangible, impactful way for people to get involved. And I do think that when they come here to volunteer, we have engaging projects that make them feel as though what they're doing is productive and has meaning. And so people will hear about us from their neighbors, or I had a call yesterday with a lady who had just moved here from South Carolina and was talking to her neighbors, and all of her neighbors were saying, if you want to get involved, if you want to get to know people, if you want to give back to the community, you definitely need to go to Goochland Cares. So I'm just thankful and privileged to be able to be in a position where I can be a conduit to help people. And that's really what I am, is as the volunteer engagement director working with volunteers, I'm just a person who connects people who want to help to people who are maybe in need and maybe need help. And so being in that position to be able to connect people like that, it's a privilege.